Hello, and welcome to the DC Overlord channel. I am the DC Overlord, and today we are introducing my DCU Fancast for the Authority. So the Authority would be taking place presumably sometime after Lanterns and then Superman, and so the Authority would be like the next movie that they're working on, 2026, 2027, I don't know. I think it's actually 2026, but we'll see. But that's not confirmed. But I think that's the plan for it, anyways. So these are the actors that I would pick for the Authority. I try to go for more skill over appearance because I feel like with the Authority, you just need really good actors to sell the movie. People don't know who the Authority is. You don't need to stay true to their appearances necessarily. But these are the people that I would pick. First, we have Anya Taylor-Joy as Jenny Sparks. Pretty simple, pretty easy. I think that she would make a really good choice as an actress, as someone who is going to be a part of the DCU. I feel like Jenny Sparks, having Anya Taylor-Joy would be a really good pick. She's done tremendous work, especially with the Queen's Gambit and many other works. Then you would have Matt Bomer as Apollo. Now, it depends on the version of Apollo that you're doing, whether he's older or younger. I went kind of a little bit older, just because I feel like both of them, both Apollo and Midnighter, should be like kind of like the older guys of the group. They're kind of already established, they're well established, they have their own morals, and so they are kind of the leaders of the group, so they should be older, and I think Matt Bomer would be a tremendous pick for Apollo. I know some people have casted him in other roles, but I think this is really the one that works for him, and he can really have this chemistry with this other actor who's going to be Midnighter, and that is Dan Levy. I think Dan Levy is the perfect choice for Midnighter. He looks like him, he acts like him, and he would be a really great pick, a really great find for DCU to have. I think that he's a really great actor. He's done a number of different movies, a number of different roles. He has a little bit of a comedic side, but he also has a little bit of a serious side as well, so you can kind of play both angles if you really want to. And I think he would also get along really well with Matt Bomer, and I think they would have good chemistry together. Although I don't know that for certain, we had to do chemistry tests, but I definitely think that these two guys would be able to really sell the roles. Then you would have Tricia Helfer as the engineer, the voice of Edie, and also a bunch of other stuff from like Battlestar Galactica and like I think she's done like a few other like space things. I think she's the perfect one for this. She honestly will be able to not only deliver the voice acting, because I think this would be a case where it's mostly voice acting anyways, but she would also be able to serve as kind of a body double if needed, or you could just have someone kind of being in her body, being like a model while she gives the voice for Edie, for the engineer. I think having Edie as the engineer just makes sense. It's a perfect choice. I don't think I would see too many other people in that role. Although I mean there are some that can make a good choice. I definitely think Tricia Helfer would be the ultimate pick for that role. They would have Josh Cruddas as the Doctor, kind of a little strange guy. You want someone who's going to be able to play that kind of weird side and not be offended by it, or he's going to be okay with being a little bit absurd, being a little bit ridiculous, and I think Josh Cruddas would be able to do that. There's a couple others on the list for that role, but I think Josh Cruddas is the one that I would go with. Then I have Nene as Swift. Nene is a tremendous actress, really would be a really great pick to have. She's done like a few different things, especially in like many different movies, many different roles. She would be a really great find. She'd be a really good pick for Swift. Then we have Michael Fassbender as Jack Hawksmoor. Now, I did have a couple of choices here, but I think Michael would be able to kind of bring that kind of serious demeanor, the kind of like intimidating role that he would have. I think he would be able to really portray that. I think he did a great job in X-Men, and I think he would do a really fantastic job in this role as well. And then last but not least, we have Wentworth Miller as Manchester Black. I had a couple of different guys on this list, but to be honest, I think Wentworth would be a really great pick for Manchester Black. I think that he would be able to kind of play up that, again, serious but also goofy kind of role. And honestly, he's a great actor, and he's also in-house, so it would honestly be a kind of a great pick to have, and kind of elevating his overall acting presence in general. I don't even know if Manchester Black is going to be in the Authority movie. I just kind of assume that he might be, because he's very much tied to them. Kind of setting up the Superman versus the Elite, that kind of movie. Although we don't know if that's going to be the direction that we're going in. I definitely think that Wentworth would be a good pick. I also had a couple others on the list for that role, but I think in general, it just makes sense. Anyways, that is my casting for the DCU. Do you agree? Is there anyone else that you would consider for the roles of these characters? You know, I definitely think that in this case, in the Authority's case, it's gonna be acting over appearance 1,000%, because I think if you get the right actors, people are gonna care, people are gonna want to watch, and especially since the Authority is kind of a no-namer in the DC comics, you know, people aren't as familiar with the Authority. I think you definitely pick out like the you want like the top stars to kind of bring in that box office numbers and make sure that the movie is successful. I think that, you know, you could possibly include other characters. I mean, I think that potentially we would have Amanda Waller showing up. We might have people from Creature Commandos showing up in the Authority movie. I think it would be kind of a seamless kind of integration, and it would make sense, especially when setting up the story. Although who knows? Maybe it could just very well just be the Authority, and then that's it. We don't really know. It's kind of hard to tell. But I look forward to kind of seeing how the Authority is being used in this context, what the Authority movie is going to look like. You know, a lot of people are calling out like The Boys, it's going to be like kind of like The Boys, but I don't even know if that's going to be that necessary direction. I mean, yes, it's going to be more violent, it's going to be more gruesome. Hopefully it's going to be R-rated, or at least a heavy PG-13. But we'll find out. I guess we'll see. And I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys so much for watching. And again, don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. So we do all things DC, and right now I'm making my way through the confirmed DC projects and who I would cast them as. And then I also have a podcast going on. It's called the DC Overloaded. It's just things where we just talk about anything DC. I don't even necessarily mention that it's a podcast, because they're as long or as short as needed. So sometimes they're like 20 minutes, sometimes they're a little bit longer, sometimes they're a little bit shorter, doesn't really matter. And I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Bye!